What's up, everybody? My name is Nick Kwach, actor, writer, and all nice things. Please, if you have not subscribed, hii channel, like, sijui unaona nini, cinema yako unaitolea wapi? Because if you have not subscribed to Alboa Cinema, this is where you will get everything. So subscribe. Ni wewe naongelesha. Subscribe.
If it comes out openly, Rwanda has made it public. Why is the Kenyan government refusing to make ours public?
Kwa sababu washakula pesa, wameuza airport, and you see it's even worse. Is like once there's some weird concessions they made that the other airports cannot be developed or something. It's just a weird thing. I was hearing the parliamentary questioning of the same. It's so weird, like the way they're doing this biashara. They don't know anything. Ni mwizi ameiba 40 years, 30 years. Ajui kitu yote. They don't have basic knowledge about even technology. Hiyo ma WhatsApp, unaona wanatumiwanga tu mapono, unaona ukiona WhatsApp. Sawa, si wako tu na mapono. They're some of the lowest form of humans around, but I guess that says a lot about us, yeah, doesn't it? Yeah?
Because we we discovered it before they could tell us their narrative, maybe.
And I've also been saying, why
this is the beauty of the internet.
Comfortable to engage in some of these activities, and yet we have a law. The question is, are we?
I think Senator Richard here is just being a bit. What's the word? It's just. I don't know how to describe it, but we know. They don't care about the laws. How does someone who's just a thief in their entire life, everything they have is they've stolen, how can they care about the law? They don't. It's not rocket science. We see that worldwide. Si hapa Kenya, US kwanza, ma UK, nini hizi mawa mnaona zote Ukraine, nini. All those things ni za do tu. Watu wanakufa kama umbwa. Lakini wengine kila pahali eti mbeka to Ukraine flag, hata mjui nini mna support nyinyi maumbwa. You know, like that's why so many young people are usually the cannon fodder. Nyinyi ndio mtaambiwa mwende mfight mawo. Oh, sijui this one is trying to take our freedom, nyef. Hizo vitu zote mtafidiwa. Ndio watu watengeneze do. So that people make money. Like some of you really need, like in the age of information, some of you need to get out of these stupid cocoons you've put yourself, so that you can tafuta some fame or infamy online and chase the truth. Mwache ujinga of trying to, oh, by the way, sorry, there's things happening outside, so I hope you don't mind. Don't be too much, but yeah. Some of you need to think deeper. Where's the information age na bado na regurgitate tu maujinga zenye unaweza type hivi kidogo find out what the truth is. Because wengi wenu mmekataa kufikiria. Mara mingi I'm having arguments on social media with the people. Mpaka siku hizi I don't argue with people. I just tell you you're dumb and I move on. Wenda ufikirie ama usifikirie. Because most of you are talking too much and you don't know anything. You're making such authoritative statements about things you don't know about. Kwanza hizi vitu za war, vitu za vitu kama Trump, vitu kama Ruto, hizi vitu zote hamjui. You are surface level. Surface level arguments by people who just understand the surface, even in any conclusive manner.
We want Kenya.
Tuseme ukweli ndio maisha iendelee mbele. Tuache hii mambo ya kupapasana. Mimi sipapasi mtu. Mimi nafanyanga mamovie kando na mimi ongea kando. But if you want to conflate to do what you want. But we are not going to stop saying the truth because some of you think you can blackmail people. Hasta watch vitu zako. Fuck off. I don't need you. Who can't listen to the truth, and then I don't need you. There's 8 billion people in this world. Pipe it down. Pipe it way down. You are 8 billion people and you're one of the least capable to buy anything. You're one of the least capable to buy anything or build anything.
Become a successful middle class, up and running country where people believe in the law and in meritocracy, where we believe in fairness.
Meritocracy ilitupa kitambo 1963. Atuwekea kimzee hapo kinadinya mapoko London.
Wash,
We are a wash country already.
Hustler.
whatever.
No, I don't
That's
think we
not-
want to.
Lynn Ngugi. Yes, I understand you're in denial. We already that. We are a country of corruption, wash. Hizo vitu zote, drugs. We already that. Ni implosion ijafanyika vizuri. We already that. And for most people, they don't realize this thing takes years, decades sometimes to fester properly. To a point where it becomes too big to ignore. At that point, the ones who've stolen the elites, I use the air quotes for elites because being an elite in the real sense is being really good at something, being an achiever and whatnot. Not a thief who has money. These elites of ours, you know, they already have their things. Wakona manyumba France, Miami, wataenda. You guys remain here. Wajarugo, saperes. Mtabaki na hiyo ujinga yenu. While people are eating nice things, delicacies, wakipiga kuonesha mawatch zao and their happies infested holes in Dubai. Boss, people need to wake up. Nyinyi watu mwenye mnapenda kwanza siku hizi kila mtu ako na channel. Everybody is a journalist, everybody is a commentator. Let's commentate. Mwache hizo maujinga za kudanganya watu for fame. Because the truth will still get you famous. That's the fact. Ni vile kama una talanta na ujui ku-earn, utadanganya. Hivyo ndio kuko. Tuseme ukweli.
That's not what our country needs to be.
No.
I mean, look at the case of university funding for higher education.
Yes.
How can you tell somebody in a family where people are living, maybe they are 6 or 7 on an acre of land, and the father is a Boda Boda rider, or actually the father is a shamba boy and his total salary on a monthly basis is 8,000. Then you have this child who's born by this family where the parents have done some miraculous things, including selling that acre of land, maybe getting rid of a quarter an acre to make sure this child goes to university. When the child gets an A, you are telling this child he must look for 650,000 to pay so that he can go to medical school. There are no countries that do that except in Africa. In Europe, when a student is an A student is going to study medicine, you provide what he needs and you give them the options which they are comfortable to
Give
handle.
them scholarships.
Give them scholarships and then tag them along and say, once you graduate after your 6 or 7 years, we will tag you along. You will not even leave the country to go and get a job. We want you to work for the government at least for 5 years so that we cut off.
That's investing in your talent. That only everybody, every company, any successful country, they've done that. Hapa hivi we can't wait for Manyala to even just be number 3, number 4 before you start tearing him down. Juu ampendi kazi, watu wenye wana earn vitu na kazi. Our legend here, Kemboi. Watu wamerespectiwa majuu kushinda vile wamerespectiwa hapa juu. Nyinyi roho mbaya, ampendi watu wenye wana work. If you go to social media where when these athletes something happens to them, because a lot of you people ni kama mjaifanya kitu ngumu. If you've done any sports, trained hard, go to a game, get beaten, train again, get beaten, uzade kushinda moja. If you've ever done that, you would never hear somebody like that talking rubbish to an athlete or somebody who's worked hard and failed somewhat, not achieving the top level. But do you think you have as much money as Omanyala? You don't. Omanyala akona madili zinatoka kwa masikio. Wewe uko na uheta yako hapa. Hiyo ndio real envy. When you see somebody work hard and honest, what do? You want to tear them down and then you bring up a politician. Hey, amekuwekea hiyo boxer yake amenunua ya 20,000. Hiyo ndio una celebrate. Hey, mazee ulichekia alikuwa amevaa Giovanni mbwa. This is a cultural thing and I'm going to stress it mpaka hii video ni mahali namalizia. Culturally, this country is fucked. Having the laziest, most entitled people. Poor people who are entitled. Unafanya kitu nakataa kukubali. Mazee hapana, walitudanganya kukudanganya. Huyu msee unajua ni muongo. So if you go in with someone already you know is a thief, is a liar and you believe them, hiyo ni wewe. It's you. I will never accept These narratives you guys keep pushing around, trying to overwhelm people with numbers. Niggas, come on now. You can't do it because you don't have any respect or principles. How can you do that? You can't even hate me long enough. Because unajua mwishowe hata unaweza kuja kuniomba job. You know that. You guys have no shame, by the way. Watu wengine mnaniongelesha mavi hapa, alafu kwa inbox unaniomba job. You see, you're full of shit. That's what it is.
Our money, then you can continue and do your thing, which still is okay. It's an option you give people. But you can't come and tell me that, oh, we have looked and thought what you need to do, your family, we were looking at the poverty index, we were looking at population in your home, and this information was being brought by the chiefs. I know there are so many good chiefs, but I can tell you there are many of them. If you wanted proper information about somebody, to give that information to the government, where the government is supposed to use that data to make a decision and a calculated decision to make sure that money is shared equitably and fairly to the public, you can't use the chief. Because the information that is going to give you, some of it, the person who's being asked to give information doesn't even know why the chief is asking that information. So they feel like
Kila kitu inafanywa undercover because you're not meant to know. But you should know that by now and work harder to find out.
The 633.
You said ya kuwatch hiyo tracking video, ingia tu nini Google kitu haraka ama usearch kitu haraka ujue.
It should include paying all the lecturers and teachers in the Republic, should provide free primary education with capitation, should provide...
Okay. Hapa ndio lazima I have to stop this nonsense. Hakuna kitu free, Mr. Politician. There's nothing free. We are paying for it. With the taxes that are being mismanaged and stolen. Hakuna these things of putting it free this. No. You can create better environment for those businesses and those schools to flourish. So that the market sets itself. Instead of, as in you can create the jobs so that people can pay their own things. This thing of always wanting to do things where they claim they are free and they are not free, it's just growing a government to create more bureaucrats to run a certain thing they're ill-equipped to handle, but they just start stealing. Ukiona America, the same like the teachers union, imekuwa sasa ni kama yetu hapa, everywhere, where they form these amorphous huge organizations that are meant to deal with the government. It's to siphon money. Because like if you look at teachers, it's a huge chunk of not only voters, but people with money who are doing work. And as long as you can have those in control, oh, we are fighting for your rights, but we are always doing what the government wants, but we are fighting for your rights. These long-running, useless strikes that have been occasioned, by the way, by people who've entered in positions in those hospitals, schools, and what without earning their positions. Corruption. So ma politician wanajua vile mna recruit hapa, wanajua si hatu ni corrupt tu kama sisi wanatuambia nini. You see how this thing works to make sure that the standards are kept low. Because if you are gonna continue doing this, nilikuwa nimewaambia last video that the way you guys play the game with schools, mme corrupt shule alafu mna expect that hiyo shule sama itakutolea mtoto anajua kitu. I think you're just delusional. And you're in denial. Ostrich syndrome, keng.
Free secondary education with capitation.
Hakuna kitu free by the way. Just I like him, but no, nothing free.
For me, I now have the money. I don't have.
Because that means you are accepting that you have lost, that you are unable to do the things that you are put in government to do. So now you want more money to do something that you are meant to have let the citizens do for themselves. And I'm really starting to dislike people who always want the government to do things for us. The government is very simple. You're meant to be offer security and then adjudicate the things that we do among them ourselves. That's it. You don't get to advise us or who to do business with, how, because you don't know these things. Government operatives are dumb as fuck. They don't know anything. They've never run anything. A person who's in government has never run a business. How does that person advise you on who to do business with? How? The numbers, cost. marketing. How do they do that? They can't. But they want to place themselves. You shouldn't be able. You shouldn't take advice from somebody who's never done something that you do successfully. That's what I always claim. In fact, now, if you're a filmmaker and you've done more films, better films than me, and made more money, don't listen to me. That's all I say. Because wewe ushaendelea, lakini kama umefika hiyo spot juu ya favoritism na wezi mkali. Ndio kwa sababu mnanisikizanga alafu mnaenda kuongea kwa WhatsApp groups kama fala.
Get a loan from you, go to help and all those kind of things. Yes.
I love that, but I wanna move on to some few topics. But there's also something that people have asked is why is it that civil servants cannot be made to use public facilities?
Yes.
Why can't they be made to use Kenyatta?
Okay, we know why. They have the money and they can't.
Again,
Let me. There's something I wanted to hear about the airport. Let me just skip through. Skip through. See adverts. Oh, my premium has ended.
Just messed up. My argument is look at the order that you have in Rwanda and look at the disorder you have in Kenya. That it's a winner-take-all exercise. The role of government is to provide the safety net. Yet our most vulnerable from
Where was that?
and
I
get a
think it
microphone
was.
and all you sing about it. And yet the institutions that we have, not that maybe these institutions should
I'm
change,
trying to find the
but
airport
even
thing
to
you was
create
talking
a
about.
deterrence.
As a government to hate inventions, our inventions so much, because earlier on I was telling you, tell me why I'm interviewing the founder of Softer.
Yes.
And he's talking us about the fall of Softer.
Yes.
And
Actually, that's a very important thing in terms of, because a lot of growing up, there was things like Rivertex, Raymond's. There was a lot of like that's in the textile industry. We used to have cotton that used to support that. Sugar, same thing. Fields and fields huko in the western region and what factories that were functioning really well and what not, or at least reasonably well. Everywhere else, if you look at manufacturing, we used to have assembly plants here. We used to make a lot of the things ourselves, and leather blades, vitu kama hizo. But these elites, they decided, because once you move from your core business and you become an entrepreneur, you can't produce anymore. So one by one, for example, foreign companies would come the area. They would corrupt politicians, give them money to be able to make things difficult for the local producers so that they can come in, take over with their big monies and they're rich. And basically, the producers on the ground were getting a penny on the dollar. Coffee, tea, all that. Milk, kila kitu. So these elites, they started to take all the production to China because they didn't want to do the hard work of getting our companies more efficient, factories. They didn't want to do that hard work because that actually means giving power to the population because that's where the talent base is. So the dumbing down of the population, even education yenu mko nayo sahi ya majia wajinga, is eventually just going to serve this. You don't have a population that can build anything. You don't have a population that can plan. You don't have a population that has patience because everybody wants the riches now. Ukule sa, he. I want to eat now. You don't realize that a lot of the people you are looking at, especially who have a lot of money, they're in their 50s, 60s, 70s. Uko maju. They've run companies for 20, 30 years. They've built things. They have things in your home. They've manufactured things you use in your home. They do entertainment that you consume regularly. These people, they have a base where the money comes from, but you're placing them the same as, say, the politicians are just steal. So locally, factories cannot be allowed to produce. Hata watu in film industry niwaambie, nobody really wants you to make it like that. Because you'll become a threat to them. Hata Hollywood, even if they're giving us just say Netflix, nini, you can look at the productions that they are funding and pushing. They're very mediocre, MMF. Even locals don't like them, they don't watch. So hizo ndio wanaweka because they understand that once you become competent enough, ukue kama South Korea, ukue kama China, India, unafanya vitu zako, level yako tech, then you can negotiate properly. Right now you're just given any price. I'm here, some people have been given 1.2 million shillings to put a movie on Netflix. 1.2 million shillings, filmmakers. 1.2 million shillings. $10,000 or less. Yani hiyo ndio vitu mnajificha huko mnakula pesa za ujinga. Ndio sasa, is this why you're not telling people how much money you're making? Although some of you, I know you've been given the big deals, but yani everything just dimension. Anyway, what I was saying is that be careful when you're doing business as who you take advice from. Because right now, like there's a project I'm doing that Coral Keeper. The organization that was funding this production, by the way, hata ile no, you just deal your idea. Imefika pahali, a lot of this organization have noticed hii design ya kukamu na formula fulani fake, hata watu watch vitu. Now give the filmmaker creative freedom, afanye vile anataka, kupe hii idea yako ikam vizuri. Then of course you can always talk to people about how things are. Okay, maybe you can improve here. That's normal behavior. But you do not decide to dumb down the process, dumb down the storytelling, the manufacturing process if it's other things. The people who are supposed to do the job, you dumb them down and you put them on a path, you know they will fail. Just for some momentary, you know, some quick funding here and there. Watu wengi wamesell out, by the way. So wezi sema story Kenyan legit. Ukipata chance kubwa ya kufanya Netflix, unatuwekea ubati bana hapo juu ya. Why? I never understood why Gitosh did that. I'm telling you, you say he lost so much respect in my eyes for doing that because I could see right through him. Like, why the hell did you think that this fucking thing they do in the West, this fringe culture in the West that is dominant, it is now being pushed beyond the normal people behavior, like if you are heterosexual. Like, why are you pushing that, Gitosh? Na ni kwa sababu umekuwa kama slaking. Sasa unatembea wetu zako ni hivi because you're not really about that game, are you? You're not really about that game, are you? You know, sahi na firebone watu straight so that you're clear. Maybe I don't want to lie or pretend. Because nyinyi wasee pia hizo ma project tulifanya na nyinyi si mmeficha kwa hizo ma WhatsApp group. Pesa zilikuwa zitoke kwa hiyo mother. Where's the money? You people, you like talking a lot your inclusivity, nyinyi mnafuata hizo ma western inclusivity, lakini do ikikam hizo do zenye vitu zilienda Netflix na nini yenye producer mwenyewe alisema alikuwa na share, mulifanya nini na hizo pesa? What did you do? And why did you not know is not everyone included that did the job? Baadaye, I'll come to you guys. Nyinyi wase, we'll clean up everyone one by one. Wase wa hiyo walfainde vile tulifanya mafilm na kupuka pesa zilitoka, ngojeni. Na kama na story.
See the role the government would have played into making sure that we save that.
Succeeds,
that was
yes.
us, right?
Yes.
Every time we have something ours, it doesn't make it to the end.
It's true.
It doesn't. Why? Is it that we are allergic to supporting our own inventions? Is it that we are allergic to
I don't think we are. I've seen a lot of Kenyans like support the products. Personally, I've survived mostly on that. So it is not the population in per se. It is the people who are, because the thing is this, if you want to crush your competition, it's not the citizens that will do it. They might be used, but it's not them that do it. Ni wewe kwenda to the hires huko, mpeane, mu exchange monies and whatnot, and then come crush a company. That's the way it happens all the time, by the way. And that's why, by the way, a lot of companies have left this country. Hata mjaambiwanga vizuri how many companies are manufacturing. They've left the country to go to TZ and Uganda. They are going to Uganda, bwana. Yani was
supporting our own people?
Because by then they can't even trust the workers. Mkianza kufanyia mtu kazi ni kuibia tu mtu non-stop. Mpaka upatikane ama uibe mingi upotee. Uanze kukunywa hapa nje kupretend wewe ni bola.
Because again, he said, we want to export labor, but that labor is work.
Yeah, I wanted this. Where is that?
That's a question that I think we, as a country, and especially the people who are providing the necessary information and knowledge to young Kenyans, we have a nation where self-interest is more important.
It trumps
than
everything
public
else.
interest. The only time you see anything public interest in Kenya is when the athletes are running and they're winning marathons, or when Omanyala is number 3 or number 4, even when the guy has really, really tried. All we do, the best nationalistic
Okay,
is tell him how he's useless
speaking.
and wasting his time.
Okay. I don't know, maybe it's because I listened to it yesterday because I used the same example.
But the feeling I have is
Hey, akifika hata bunda mwesh. Hey, but you see Wajala people talking trash. By the hata ukiona rugby players wakienda pali wanachapwa. Maze tunawaangukia na hawa wase hawajalipwa miezi wako. Imagine umeenda uko international maze umeonekana kwa ma TV zote nini. Oh, look at so and so. He's so strong, he's so fast, so talented. Anakuja hapa landlord anangoja. Akona arrears za rent because KRA hawajamlipa. Hizo ndio zote zimetoka ya RB nini zimetoka kwa gava sometimes. Sasa wamekuja kwanza, ukienda kwa KRA unapata ule tubuzetu wa kitambo. Tumekuwa corrupt, hatujui kitu. Hiyo base yao hiyo Queens imekaa the same. But hata kidevelopment ikifanya unaona tu mafala walikula pesa. Like, you know, all these institutions, football nini, unapata kila mtu ako hapo ni fala mwenye anaiba. Unapata mayutu wanakuwa taken advantage of the first 2-3 tournaments do inatoka vizuri, alafu by the time hiyo circuit inaisha, you find everybody is crying. We've been relegated or worse, maybe just before they were relegated they were paid hiyo last tournament wakajikaza wakabaki. Like, it is such a joke, because while yenyewe these people at the top are the ones who have access to that big cake. Hizi keki zingine hapa ndogo tu tupae, mnakula tu mmenona hapa, mnakufa hapa hivi nje heart attack, mmenona, mmekula pesa za watu. You're seeing your guys talking, you guys are sick out here, man. Just overeating, drinking and go fucking dirty hoes. Mko wagonjwa, mnameza tu matap kila pahali. Your conscience is hitting you every day. Don't talk to me. Come on now. My conscience is clear. I don't deal with people like you. Kwa sababu tunaona hii rat race mnakimbia, utafika huko. Hapa hivi na stop. Mimi naangalia niishi mpaka 100 bana. Mimi sitaki kufa kesho, overeat, kuchukua pesa za watu, no discipline. Hapana. No. Fireball.
I think, for example, at a personal level, that's why you see I'm wearing this kaunda. This is an African design cloth.
Look, I wanted this something on.
Look at the bags which are being made by some company in Karen. Look at
joke.
Imagine that softer company, which was a company that was selling soda, which could have employed people.
Hey, like hiyo software
for
walipigwa
people to kill
na Coke.
Because
Coke is the one that paid the politicians to make things hard for that person.
Rewarding the leadership class, making sure the members of parliament increase taxes, whether it's on VAT inputs and stuff like that. If you go and look at it very skillfully and carefully, you will notice that is the...
You don't even need to look at it very carefully. It's right there.
For certain things not to succeed. I mean, the reality we have now, look at our agriculture. Why is it failing all over the place?
Where is the airport
Our
thing?
coffee.
Yes.
Our sad state.
Think about 12 brokerage companies which are backed by... Why we don't have an audit of what our management is interested in for Kenya to supply them to receive these minerals for the next 2 years.
Yeah, that...
We are about number 4 in the world. Are the minerals which are used to make the special coating that makes sure that when an aeroplane is flying, the temperatures and the weather doesn't change that. And in fact, they are now using rare minerals to create stealth technology so that the aeroplane cannot be detected by radar. we are about number 4 in the world.
Mnajua hiyo? Do you know, it is what I was talking about before, the fact that there's so much mining going on in this country, and by the way, this is owned by our politician na malaki zao na wase wao. Like everybody goes and takes because they already know before, and watu wame speculate pali hiyo kitu. Kwanza hii game alicheza ya oil. I'm telling you, I'm so bitter with this. I'm so angry at these people. I just stopped giving a damn. I don't listen to anything they say. I don't care about anything they say. I try to work. I just know what they are saying. And I try to make sure, at every chance I get, is to make sure I do not leave, to give them any kind of help in terms of propagating what they are doing. I pay the least taxes I possibly can. The least. If possible, siwezi lipa. Hiyo nakwambia tu roho safi. I pay the least. Siku hizi na report tu, nilianza hata kureport juzi. I just report zero. What? I don't have money to give you government. You've taken everything. Mimi ni zero. Mimi niko zero sahi. In fact, sahi niko negative. Niko negative sahi. I don't know what you want to tax. You want to tax my negative balance.
No.
Producing that. You know how much the Americans wanted to offer?
No.
$100 billion US.
What happened?
For them to receive these minerals for the next 2 years. What happened? Now, what these people that I'm talking about don't understand is that I'm now receiving information that the people concerned with departments and ministries of minerals have already flown to Australia to go and look for Muzungus who they want to come and starting minerals. I mean, mining these minerals.
The money has to come to them direct. Like, anyway,
in Taipan of.
I have to be honest with you. This is a very long video, so not 1 hour 33 minutes. So this is part of the things I wanted to really respond to. There's a lot more. Go to Lynn Ngugi's channel. She has some good things going on over there. Make people poor and make it easy to control them. By the way, mimi kwa sahi, most of my gripe is with my fellow citizens na vile tunapenda kufan hizi flames, na vile tunapenda kusupport hizi maujinga. So as far as I am concerned, unless this changes, the citizen, the culture changes, we're just talking. Unless you as a person decides that you want to earn your way the honest way, mwache kupeana mahongo, mwache kupea hongo ndio upate vitu ama utoke kwa shida manini. As long as that doesn't happen, we are talking. So tufanye tu contents kwa watu wengine, tukanane na maisha iendelee. For those who, you see, for most people, wale ambao hamna special talent menye unaweza fanya kitu pate do mob, which is the majority, mtaendelea tu kuumia na nyinyi ndio mko na most say. So I think I understand the game. The game is that you just lie to the people. They will believe you, and after a while they will defend your lies, and they'll defend their bad decisions that they made, just so that we can continue with this cesspool of a corrupt culture that we have everywhere. I don't know one place in the world that has a culture like ours that's built anything. Everything they start to build inacrashiwa. Wezi wanaingia, wanakomandia, wanaanza kufungia kila mtu nje. It happens everywhere. And those countries they remain backwards. Hamwezi mnakuwa beggars. Kidogo mnaanza, you are easy to use now. Mnaanza kuambia, this white supremacy and colonialism, this white man there who his country is running efficiently with everything nice, that is your real problem. It's not this corrupt politician you voted in who's kissing us to the worst of those people. It is not you who can't do honest business. It's not you who's making bad decisions daily. Mnadinyana hapa hivi na mafala. Mnazaana hapa hivi kama maumbwa hata mjui kuraise watoi. It's not you though, is it? It's a politician and white man. White supremacy and colonialism. Umbwa nyinyi. First of all, mimi hiki to your politics as it was, as I told Gen Z before, I'm not your mother. I'm not here to make you feel good about things. You can either listen to the truth and make the necessary changes, or you can continue to feel good with the lies and you continue suffering. You know, I have no, for me, I have a plan. Maybe it works, maybe not. You know, but I'll never join you. You are hopelessness and you're rubbish. And not taking responsibility for your actions. Hakuna kitu itai kuendelesha kushinda take responsibility kwa hizi maufala umefanya. Right now, this country is suffering because we refuse to take responsibility. The poor person he was talking about who's earning 8K a month, being a farmer. That person, Ruto atakama na 500 ama tawa na mpena, atamvotia. Alafu atalia 2 months later. And that person is meant to be treated like a child who doesn't know anything. This is an adult who has children, who's raising children and cultivating land. You want to give them an excuse because he's poor. He's poor. Does poor make you down? Does it make you unable to listen to simple like things you see? Every day you are crying corruption, lakini kifika time ya kuivotia nje unakataa. Unachukua 500 unavotia mjinga bana. Unajisaulisha hizo masafari zako zote unafanya kutoka asubuhi mpaka jioni, and you vote for the same person and you want sympathy afterwards. Wacha nikwambia hata mimi the decisions I make. These days nimeamua I don't want shortcuts. Nikifanya blunder, let me suffer the consequence so that I can learn something. That's what I'm doing now, and this country is required to do that. Saizi hakuna easy. There is nothing easy. You put a buffoon in power who's power hungry and a thief. Kuna pahali anaenda mpaka mtoe the right way. Vile mlimweka hivyo ndio mtamtoa. Mnafikiria mtachukua pesa ya wazungu mwanze kutukimbia kwa street hapa? Hiyo ndio running from, hiyo ndio decision, hiyo ndio solution? No, it's not the solution. The solution is you take responsibility now. Stop bitching about your decisions. Kama ni vile mmezalimzana hapa nje kama maumbwa, alafu mnalialia vile ulichagua mtu mkazana yeye akaenda. Yeah, because you're dumb, you're stupid. That's why you're in the position you are. You've refused to listen. You have no discipline. Hizi vitu zote by the way mi huongea juu mimi I'm real, even with myself. Hizi vitu ndio zimefuck kila mtu. I don't know one person who has not been fucked by this kind of behavior. Not one. So it's a fact. That's what it is. Live with it or not. Nobody gives a damn. The rich will continue getting richer. The media will still continue. By the media, unaona wanafunga. Wenyewe will continue getting richer. Jiji hao watu wanatuuzia propaganda hapa na ujinga. Wana block watu, kila watu. Pia hao wanaenda tu nyumbani. Wakutukujie social media. You know, I've been so depressed. I lost, I was famous and I was yeah. Be depressed. The farmer in Turkana was nothing. Huyo tutamfikiria. Wewe kuwa depressed. Fanya vile unataka. You're part of the problem and you've refused to look for a solution that actually works. Si kuja kutulilia hapa social media vile you've lost things. You've lost things because you're working for bullshit. You're selling people lies. You're blocking out talent. Everything that's meant to grow the thing to become strong and stable and be useful for decades, you've refused to do. Now mnatulilia kwanza jinyi watu wa media, hizo vitu zote zinafaa zifungwe. You're useless. You're propaganda mouthpieces. Natuletea propaganda ya majuu, mnatuuzia mapoison hapa zinazi. Watu by the way vile watu mnaona mabesteno na anguka matataka. Mnafikiria zitoka wapi?